Hello, everyone. I'm Jelena Perfilieva with Boring Enterprise Nerds. Welcome to another installment of my video series of Jelena Goes Online, in which I go online to discover and research some interesting subjects from the SAP world. Subject of the day would be SAP Business Technology Platform. I'm sure everyone is excited to hear about this. So let's start. All right, so this video started with the question posted on Reddit in SAP sub. The original question have since been deleted, but as you see, nothing really disappears from the internet for real. So I was able to dig up this original question through the Undid website. So the question here was someone is working as SAP functional consultant and they had a casual conversation with their boss and he asked if this person was familiar with SAP BTP, Business Technology Platform, and the person had to admit they don't know much about it, but willing to learn. So they were asking about learning about SAP BTP, etc. So first of all, it's honestly pretty difficult question to answer because as we will just discover in a second here, SAP BTP, it's kind of at the same time nothing and everything. And I myself would probably struggle to answer whether I'm familiar with SAP BTP. So we will, yeah, in this video, we will go through some of the websites in which I hope I will be able to explain to anyone on very basic level what SAP BTP is. If we look at the content available easily online, I think it's easy to see where a lot of confusion is coming from. So let's start with what is a platform in general. And I just usually Google questions. There is most of the time there is actually pretty good answer right away. So platform in general in IT world, it's as just exactly as this post says, it's a hardware and software combination used to host an application or service. So basically platform by itself doesn't really do much. It's meant to host something else on it, which I think is the basic principle that many people kind of struggle to understand. And to be fair, it's fairly difficult to find any good analogies from the real world. I've seen many people compare platforms to many different things, but really I'm struggling myself finding something that would be accurate. And I saw one of the blog posts that we will look at later today, comparing using a restaurant business as comparison, which I think it's a good analogy in general. I would say that platform would be something like a kitchen in the restaurant. So imagine you are a chef and someone is asking you, "Are you familiar with a kitchen?" You would you would probably think that this person is insane because, I mean, kitchen is a kitchen. It's not important. Kitchen itself is not really important as much as what you really do with it, what equipment do you have there, how you use it, etc. So I hope that at least helps everyone to get past that very first hurdle of understanding the terminology of platform. So then going further, when people see this, they kind of have frequently light bulb in their head because there are many other platforms these days. And as a sidebar, I think platform as a term is very much abused in software products right now because it looks like everyone and their brother want to call their product platform for something, and it is not always used accurately. It is also used sometimes as a catch-all term to describe variety of different things. It's basically when it's something that is difficult to describe, people just call it platform and then call it a day. So which just in general adds to the confusion for everyone who has not been in IT for a very long time. All right, so let's take a look at the terminology here. So what is SAP BTP? Again, Google is my first source, and the very first hit we have here is SAP's own website. All right, so let's take a look at it. I already have it open here. So when we arrive to this page, you can see kind of the issue right away, because what is SAP Business Technology Platform? Well, this text doesn't say what this platform really is. It's technology platform that brings together data analytics, AI application development, automation, integration in one unified environment. It's like I'm still confused what it is and what does it do. So it really doesn't help anyone. I mean, this page clearly has been written and maintained by SAP marketing. So not really useful, guys. So whoever is in charge of this, maybe don't let marketing department write your technical content. And it actually gets worse from here, because then it's like accelerate cross-functional innovation to unlock business potential. What what does it mean? What I understand every word here. What does this sentence mean? It's like,
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
cross unlock. I don't know. I'm just, my marketing dar just pretty much blanks out all of the text on this page, because all of this is just honestly just awful marketing text that tells the reader absolutely nothing about what is this platform, what does it do, what can I do with it, why is it important, why is it called platform, where is business, where is technology, etc. So a lot of innovation platform, blah blah blah. I don't know. I could just read all this text and just make fun of it all day, but I think you get the gist. So this is essentially a completely useless page for anyone who wants to find what is SAP Business Technology Platform. It has this question right here. It has zero answers to this question, absolute zero, totally useless. All right, thankfully, there are still good people in SAP community. It's from 2023. I think this is probably the best explanation. It's targeted to the beginners. I still would say maybe it's really not simple enough, and it also pretty long. Also, another problem here, it's also written by SAP person, so there is quite a bit of corporate Kool-Aid mixed in with information that is actually useful. But in any case, this post by 100 miles is better than whatever that product page which we just looked at. That was just utterly ridiculous. So in this blog post, it also tries to explain what it is, and it starts with two example scenarios. I think it's definitely easier to explain what SAP BTP is using scenarios. I'm not sure these are actually scenarios that are good for explanation. So my personal explanation would be, again, even simpler. Platform by itself, it's just a platform to host services and build and host applications. So that's what it is. However, you might think, well, that by itself doesn't seem to provide much value, and you would be right, because that's not the only thing that is the value of SAP BTP. This is actually a pretty good illustration of what value SAP BTP provides, other than just being a platform by itself to do stuff with it and on it. As since you can create your own services, of course, or applications, but some of the services and applications that are already available for you to consume with SAP BTP. And some of them are actually included in the free tier, or some of the trial offerings, etc. Some are paid only. For some, SAP customers might receive some kind of discount or some kind of allowance, etc. So there is actually a lot that comes with SAP BTP. And this illustration, why I especially like it, it may not be technically accurate or even accurate from the marketing standpoint, but I think it shows perfectly that SAP BTP here by itself, again, is just a platform. And all those items underneath, you can see there is a whole lot. There are low code, no code tools, there are runtimes, there is DevOps services, SAP Build, which is a whole like thing by itself, SAP Integration Suite, which is again huge thing by itself. Not to mention all the analytic stuff, even huger. And now all the AI stuff is here as well. So all of this together, that to me what really provides the value of SAP BTP. And also going back to the original question where we started, so that director, that boss was asking, are you familiar with SAP BTP? So am I familiar that SAP BTP exists and it has all those services? Yes. Is anyone familiar with everything here on this menu? Definitely not. I guess even at SAP, no one would know everything about all of this because the scope of all of these services, all of those offerings and tools is just huge. It would be just impossible for a single person to be expert in all of this, and you don't need to be. So basically, I think for the functional person to be fairly familiar with SAP BTP would be first to understand exactly what I have just explained is what SAP BTP is by itself, how it also kind of includes, I don't want to use term include because they're not included in the price, they're all separately priced offerings, but technology wise, I think it's fair to say so. So all the services that it includes, but as a functional person, I think you can also choose maybe one of those areas, or maybe just learn a little bit about each of those areas that spikes your interest. So, for example, if you're interested in workflow and automation, then I would definitely try to learn more about this part. If analytics is your jam, then go and learn about SAP DataSphere, which is latest, greatest, very interesting, very popular. AI, of course, is there, but I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent on SAP AI offerings at this point. Woohoo. Integration suite is interesting, but it is a kind of pretty big thing in itself, as I mentioned. So I'm not sure functional person would necessarily need to have much like in-depth knowledge, but it is great to have just a very simple understanding of like what it is, what it does, what it's for, what problems can it solve. That to me would be an extent of knowledge on this subject. So people are frequently asking then, well, is SAP BTP like AWS? And funny enough, you can see this question right here. Um, in very generic terms, I actually would say this is a fair comparison. It's if it helps you to understand what SAP BTP is or what technology platform is in general, looking at it at like something similar to AWS, I think it's pretty valid. It's not exactly like AWS. Um, I mean, one reason it's a different platform. Another is SAP is not really cloud like cloud service provider itself. So SAP doesn't like provide you data centers, cloud, whatever servers like Amazon does. So AWS is slightly different, but I think on a very high level, it's totally valid to say that it's somewhat similar to AWS, and this is what I wanted to show you as well. So when people go and look up what is AWS, you can see how different the results are. So in SAP, what is SAP BTP brings you to this terrible convoluted marketing page. But Googling what is AWS, and you can see this is very first hit. I did not make up this result. And this is actually, to me, looks like very useful site right away. It has create an AWS account. Do you want to learn it? Yes, please go here, learn about it. It has clear explanation what it is. First of all, Amazon Web Services is the world's most comprehensive, broadly adopted cloud, offering 200 fully featured services. So, okay, so this thing offers services. That me to me, it already helps me to compartmentalize this in some kind of area in my mind and maybe connect it to some other knowledge I already have about other technology. So I think it's very useful for someone having no knowledge. It also, of course, has salesy information, but you can compare how much more clear and specific this page is compared to what SAP is offering. And yeah, you have you have chat here as well. So there is also largest community partner network, most secure. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm sold already. I'm just really pumped to learn about this. This sounds interesting. SAP, to be reasonably fair, SAP also does have learning website. It is here. It's in learningsap.com. And I've just arrived at this page, so I haven't really checked on SAP BTP subject in a while because there was a very good course on OpenSAP, but as we know, OpenSAP is now gone, unfortunately. So let's see what SAP Learning site can offer on SAP BTP subject. Naturally, since I'm greeted with this strange explore the latest resources page, I'm not really sure where to go from here. So there is search field. So let me just okay, let's put like SAP BTP here and just see what happens. All right. All right, results for SAP BTP. So um, so kind of getting strangely specific here. I have no idea. Beginner discovering DevOps, learning basics, but this is about programming, side by side schema. I mean, beginner wouldn't know what the heck any of this is. So kind of jumping right away into some kind of details. I would expect some kind of really beginner. Oh, so this, okay. So buried somewhere, result number 9 is discovering SAP Business Technology Platform, and this is learning journey for beginner for 4 hours. All right, so let's just click on this. This seems to be appropriate place to start. Probably, I would probably place it first if possible. Um, when someone is simply looking for SAP BTP, that would seem fair. All right, so overview. Pum, pum. Go to learning. Okay. What is Oh, okay. So remember how I showed you this picture. So this is, I think, a good way to describe to a beginner what SAP BTP is and what are all the different parts on it. This is terrible, terrible way to describe it. Because and let me show you why. I think someone at SAP is looking at it from some kind of very strange SAP internal perspective, and they're like, yes, like we said exactly what is needed to the customers. This is our message. This is like looks awesome. But from someone who does not have email at sap.com, let me tell you how bizarre this stuff looks. Because I'm looking at it, okay, SAP Business Cloud Platform is capable. So business technology platform is sitting here. On top of it, I see cloud ERP. What is cloud ERP? Like, is it ECC? Is it S/4HANA? So this would be the question that any normal person would be asking. Then it's like industry specific and sustainable. What does this mean? It's some kind of mission statement. I don't get it. It's like I don't understand what it means. Then human capital management. Okay, I'm guessing that someone is trying to say that like success factors are based on BTP. I'm honest. I'm not an expert. I'm not sure if it's even accurate. But then again, I don't know what it means really. What does it tell me? Does it correspond to some kind of specific SAP product? I don't really understand how does all of this help me to understand what SAP business technology platform is? And then on top of it, there's like spend management. I as someone who has been in SAP world for a while, I can kind of connect the dots and see what was probably the thought process of someone who put this here. They're like, yeah, we have like, yeah, we have success factors, but we also have some other stuff, some HCM. So let's put it here. Let's call it human capital management so that it's like generic enough. But it doesn't help the person looking at this picture at all. It just makes it more complicated for them because they cannot connect it to anything else. These words, they are very generic. This information does not exist in this way. It's not presented in this way. It's not perceived in this way in all the other parts. So someone please redo this horrible 50 shades of blue diagram. It's honestly awful. And then really important parts are here actually. So this would be part that everyone is interested in. Again, this great. I mean, I can understand it. I can look up every single one of those items and find information about them. This, no. All right. So again, this this is a subject I can just sit around and talk all day, but I think that we got the gist of it. So there is some kind of content on SAP Learning website that you can go if you lucky and find it. You can in just 4 hours learn something about business technology platform. Maybe we will do another video about this and other content on SAP Learning website. That's probably a good idea. But it is free, has record of achievement. So I guess if you want to learn some kind of basics, this is probably as good as it gets as far as SAP official learning goes. There are also tutorials for developers, but that would be more specific, I think, audience for those. All right, so I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope I didn't bore you bore you much with SAP stuff, and I also hope that I was able to bring at least just a little bit of clarity into what the heck is SAP BTP. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.